The use of artificial food colorings has long been a subject of debate, but few additives have generated as much concern and regulatory scrutiny as red dye number 3. This synthetic coloring agent, widely used in a variety of foods and beverages, has recently been the focus of discussions among public health officials, scientists, and consumer advocates. Amid mounting evidence of potential health risks, including cancer and behavioral issues, some states in the U.S. have begun taking action, leading to calls for federal reevaluation. Red dye number 3 is a synthetic coloring agent derived from petroleum. First approved for use decades ago, it became a staple in the food industry, used to impart vibrant red hues to candies, baked goods, beverages, and other processed foods. Its vivid color and stability under heat and light made it particularly attractive to manufacturers seeking consistent and appealing products. Despite its widespread use, red dye number 3 has been surrounded by controversy almost since its introduction. While the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has long maintained that it is safe for consumption in small amounts, critics argue that evolving scientific research and global regulatory trends suggest otherwise. Notably, the dye has been banned in the European Union, the United Kingdom, Australia, and much of Asia due to concerns over its safety. The primary concern surrounding red dye number 3 is its potential to act as a carcinogen. Laboratory studies have shown that prolonged exposure to high doses of the dye can lead to cancer in animals, raising alarms about its safety in humans. In the United States, food additives that are found to be carcinogenic are subject to removal under the Delaney Clause, a legal provision that mandates the prohibition of carcinogenic substances in food, drugs, and cosmetics. Critics point out an inconsistency in how the FDA has handled red dye number 3. While the dye has been removed from medications, dietary supplements, and cosmetics due to its potential carcinogenic properties, it remains approved for use in foods. This discrepancy has fueled public distrust and raised questions about whether regulatory policies are sufficiently protective of consumer health. Beyond its cancer risk, red dye number 3 has also been implicated in behavioral and neurological issues, particularly in children. Anecdotal reports from parents suggest that the dye may exacerbate symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, or lead to other behavioral changes. Though these reports remain largely observational, they align with broader research on artificial food colorings and their potential effects on neurodevelopment. The decision to ban red dye number 3 in many parts of the world reflects a precautionary approach to public health. Countries like those in the European Union have adopted stricter standards for food additives, prioritizing consumer safety over the convenience and economic benefits offered by synthetic dyes. This has led manufacturers in those regions to reformulate their products, often replacing artificial dyes with natural alternatives like beet juice, paprika, or turmeric. In contrast, the U.S. regulatory framework has been slower to adapt. The FDA's continued approval of red dye number 3 highlights a fundamental tension in its approach, balancing the benefits of regulatory stability with the need to incorporate new scientific findings. Critics argue that the agency's reliance on decades-old safety evaluations fails to account for advances in toxicology and public health research. Adding to the complexity is the role of state-level actions. In the absence of federal bans, some states have begun to restrict the use of red dye number 3 in foods sold within their borders. This patchwork of regulations creates logistical challenges for manufacturers, who must navigate differing standards across jurisdictions. However, it also exerts pressure on the FDA to reconsider its position, as nationwide consistency becomes increasingly desirable for businesses. The controversy surrounding red dye number 3 has also sparked a broader movement among consumers to scrutinize the ingredients in their foods. Many people are now actively seeking out products that are free from artificial dyes, favoring those made with natural colorants. This shift in consumer preferences has prompted some manufacturers to proactively eliminate red dye number 3 from their products, even in the absence of regulatory mandates. For the food industry, transitioning away from artificial dyes presents both challenges and opportunities. While natural colorants offer a more health-conscious alternative, they can be less stable and more expensive to produce. Manufacturers must also contend with the potential for changes in flavor, texture, or appearance, which could impact consumer acceptance. Despite these hurdles, the growing demand for clean label products, foods with simple, recognizable ingredients, has incentivized innovation in the development of natural dyes. Companies that successfully adapt to this trend may gain a competitive edge, particularly as consumers become more informed and discerning about what they eat. Ongoing research into the health effects of red dye number 3 and other artificial colorings is critical to informing regulatory decisions. While existing studies provide valuable insights, more comprehensive data are needed to fully understand the long-term implications of these additives. This includes not only cancer risks but also potential impacts on behavior, neurodevelopment, and overall metabolic health. In the meantime, the precautionary principle, a philosophy that advocates erring on the side of caution in the face of scientific uncertainty, may serve as a guiding framework. Proponents argue that removing red dye number 3 from the food supply is a reasonable step given the availability of safer alternatives and the documented concerns raised by other countries. For policymakers, the challenge lies in balancing these scientific considerations with practical realities. Any decision to ban or restrict red dye number 3 must account for the economic implications for manufacturers, as well as the feasibility of enforcement. Public education will also play a key role in ensuring that consumers understand the reasons behind regulatory changes and how to make informed choices about their diets. The debate over red dye number 3 is part of a larger conversation about the role of food additives in modern diets. As processed foods dominate the global food system, the use of synthetic chemicals to enhance flavor, color, and shelf life has become increasingly commonplace. While these additives offer undeniable benefits, they also raise important questions about their long-term health effects and the trade-offs inherent in their use. Advocates for stricter regulation emphasize the importance of prioritizing natural, minimally processed foods as the foundation of a healthy diet. By reducing reliance on artificial additives, they argue, it is possible to mitigate health risks while fostering a more sustainable and transparent food system. The future of red dye number 3 in the United States remains uncertain, but the growing momentum for its restriction or removal signals a broader shift in attitudes toward food safety and public health. As scientific evidence continues to evolve, so too will the regulatory landscape, driven by the interplay of consumer advocacy, industry innovation, and government oversight. For now, individuals concerned about the potential risks of red dye number 3 can take steps to minimize their exposure. Reading ingredient labels, choosing products made with natural colorants, and supporting companies committed to clean label practices are all ways to contribute to a safer and more health-conscious food environment. Ultimately, the choices made by consumers, manufacturers, and regulators will shape the future of food and the values that underpin it. Thanks for tuning in to learn about the potential risks of red dye number 3 and how it's shaping the future of food safety. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might want to make healthier choices. Subscribe to stay informed about important topics like this, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let us know in the comments, do you avoid artificial dyes, or do you think their risks are overstated? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious and take care of your health.